This video, I'm going to be breaking down how to get consistent pressure out of the 4-3 even 6-1 defense in college football 26. Now, the beauty of this defense is it is a symmetrical front, kind of a six down type of front where you're going to be able to send 5 men off one side, 5 men off another side, and potentially getting double edge pressure when they start to block running backs or tight ends and things like that. What I like to do to set this up in my coaching adjustments is I'm going to turn auto flip defensive play call off. I'm going to disable the auto motion response, and I'm actually going to flip the defense. The reason I like to flip 6-1 is I just think the blitz angles are slightly better when you flip the defense. Now, what you can also do to create a baseline look is you can come out in it regular, and then you can flip it at the line of scrimmage. As you see, everything kind of quickly flips. And then from there, you're pretty much set up. Now, you don't really have to do anything. The only thing I like to do is shift my defensive line to the right side of the screen, as you can see. And I'm normally going to hover in this opposite side A gap right here. Now, the way that I like to run this defense is we're typically going to go ahead and we are going to man up this linebacker on the tight end if we want to do that, or just simply flat him, and you can have that guy cross man, and you can cover the running back yourself, however you want to adjust it. But essentially, this is going to be a 5-man pressure in which you're seeing that we're going to be able to get pressure off of this weak side over here. Now, again, important that we flip the play. And when we're setting 5, I really like to send 5 on whichever side is the weaker pass protection side. Like, as you can see here, the tight end is on the right side. That's the better pass protection side. You'll see here that we can send 5 off of the right side. So if we want to send 5 off of the right side, you're just going to drop this linebacker out into coverage. And then normally what you're going to do is just kind of give a little bit more of a hover. And as you see, that time it still came left side. But generally, that should come from the right side, okay? So the other thing you can do if you really want it to come off the right is just crash your D-line to the right. And you can kind of get a little bit of a loop action, as you see right there. So we not even really touched on coverage yet. The coverage I like to run out of this is basically cover 2. I think cover 2 is really, really good in this game, and I like to spend as much time in it as possible. Another coverage you could run is you could run a coverage like that, where you're dropping a cover 3 off of one side. If you're doing that as well, the other thing is you can kind of mix up your hover. Like if you want to send it off the right, you could stand a little bit more to the right. If you want to send it off the left, you could stand a little bit more to the left. This defense is extremely flexible, which is why I think it's fairly decent. It's been good for the last couple of years. Now, the other thing about this defense that I think is worth talking about is just the half slide capability. So let's say that you're consistently sending pressure off the left side, so they half slide to the left side. What that allows you to do is if you start to notice that's what they're doing, literally just send it off the right side. And the beauty of this formation is when they half slide, it really makes this edge pressure come in a lot faster, as you can see. So it's not really ideal for them to half slide. The biggest thing that you're going to get people to do consistently is they're going to block the running back or block the tight end, which is the whole idea of why, we want to send some pressure to begin with. Another little thing about this defense that I forgot to mention is that you can try to send 4. Now, the way that I would send 4 out of this defense is I would do something like what you see, like what you're about to see on your screen right here in terms of a coverage. I would basically just drop a defensive tackle out and send it like this. And the reason why I would do that is because you still are able to have kind of a contained capability on the backside of the blitz, and you can get away with kind of sending 4, especially on the non tight end side. You can normally get away with sending 4 that way. You'll see here that if I tried to do the same basic thing over here to the right side, I would have a little bit more of a challenge. Let's see if I can show that. So if I try to send 4 off of this right side, we actually were able to get it in there. I would have a little bit more of a challenge. Now, one of the other things that people are going to do, which you want to be prepared for when running this defense, is they are going to untarget your user defender. Okay, 100%. This is one of the most common ways that people like to essentially counter blitzes in this game. So what I like to do if I ever notice that they are consistently untargeting my user is I will send a defense that looks like this. I'm going to crash the line out. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my user on a zone. And obviously, you can kind of start to notice if they are doing that consistently or not. But as you see here, I'm kind of naturally opening up this A gap to be able to run down. And then really from there, I don't know that it's that crazy. I don't even think you necessarily need to send more than 4, but basically like this. And then if they're untargeting your user, you should just be able to run through. I guess I do have to send 5, but you will be able to kind of take advantage of that type of a scenario, just depending on, again, just depending on kind of how they're blocking you. One of the things that's super challenging about College Football 26 is there's just so many ways that they can block blitzes. EA put a lot of features in this game that really do help with blitz pickup. Now, maybe do something. I'll show you real quick here. We'll do a coverage like this, for example. This should allow for pretty good pressure because, as you'll see here, they're going to untarget me, which is going to allow me to just essentially push the pocket myself. So those are just some basic ways in which you can just get pressure yourself. I don't think, again, if you wanted to, I guess it is probably the smartest to send 5 off of the right side, maybe drop this left side guy out into a contain, and then you can roll the coverage over, like so. And again, let me just show the untarget thing. But the untarget thing is 100% like they will eventually start to do that to you. So you have to be prepared with some type of a user rush if they ever do that. You don't need to do that often, but you need to do it enough to where, they're not going to untarget me anymore because they obviously can see I get pressure. The other thing that you can do, though, to kind of counter the untarget defender deal, because they will do that, is simply send 6. Very simple. This is essentially, and again, because cover 2 is so good in this game, you can send 6 pretty regularly and be somewhat okay. You can play soft squats, you can play hard flats, you can play cloud flats. All of them are honestly fine. I don't really necessarily care if you play. Normally when I send 6, I'm in a hard flat, but I don't really care. Like if it's like 3rd and 15, we can play clouds or soft squats, either way. But what you're going to see here is if they untarget somebody, you're still going to get pressure, even if they untarget your user. And then the other thing that I wanted to show you just real quickly here is just the Send 6 as a whole, and kind of how I like to run the Send 6 out of this. So when I shift them, if I want to Send 6, I normally just slant my D-line inside. And then, like I said, I'm going to play cover 2, and I'm normally going to put my user in either a mid-read or a hook curl to the right side of the screen. Typically going to stand right here. And if they block their running back, they're normally going to get screamed at, either from the gap pressure that can occur within this defense, or or from the actual linebackers on the outside. So the biggest thing, guys, is you don't need to send 6 all the time. You obviously want to be mixing up send 4, send 5, send 6. But when you send 6, the beauty of 6-1 is you're probably going to get the pressure home, which is what makes it one of the better defenses right now in College Football 26. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want more tutorials like this, more strategies, actual formation-specific defenses that are going to lock people down, make sure you join our school community. I'll link that in the description. It's only $10. It gets you access to everything that I do for Madden and for college football, all of my offensive, defensive ebooks, mini schemes, pro tips, pass protection setups, literally every single thing that you need. Another really cool part about this too that I forgot to say is if the running back and tight end are on the same side, you can normally actually still get the pressure in even if they block everybody. So that's, again, the 6-man is really good. And then with the 4-man, in terms of sending 4, I showed you a couple ways to do it. Another way to send 4, though, guys, is literally just to send a basic rush. And the basic rush out of 6-1 is pretty decent. Play just a basic cover 2. What I would do in this scenario is I would switch stick onto the running back, or not running back, but the vert hook. So I would just back him up and then just switch right off. And now I'm able to cover a lot of ground underneath. So anyway, that is the 4-3 even 6-1 defense. I want to thank you for watching this video. And if you want to take your game to the next level, make sure you join our school community. A little bit more in-depth stuff over there, full scheme breakdowns. Make sure you sign up for that today. It's only $10, and the link is in the description down below.